Okay, I think we can start now. Hello again, everyone. Hope you're having a nice week. I will continue talking about some more things that are important to build your child's high school profile. So last week we talked about recommendation letters, college essays, um, and uh, other things like categorizing REAs, all that. So this week I am going to start talking about portfolios. So portfolios and profile websites. So these are two things that are also a small component for certain colleges. So some colleges will require your child to submit a portfolio. You have to first check the college website if they need to submit or not. Usually, the Ivies, some of them require, MIT requires, and certain public schools like Michigan Ross requires. So that is something that you might need to look into. There will be a small fee for the submission. This is where all the documents come in handy. That means whatever you have documented, like, taken videos, pictures, writings, everything comes in handy. This is for throughout the 9th through 12th grade that they have done. It's usually a 1 to 3 minute video, or sometimes if it is for music, it might be, a 10-minute audition. Most application portals use Slide Room for this submission. This has to be your child's journey in that particular field that they are applying to, like whatever major it is. Colleges do not want to see you list the same thing that you have put in the activity section or the essays in the college application. They want to see how your child progressed in their passion, see their creativity, and they want to understand your child's personality. So this need to so there is no need of one topic. Your child might be extremely good at couple of things. They can show the range of range of their personality through these videos, and make sure they connect with their personality. These are often assessed by faculty, especially if you're submitting to an engineering school like a maker portfolio. Faculty do get to look at it. Sometimes universities also offer scholarships for these kids who get admitted, and they would have seen the portfolio, especially for art and architecture majors. So it is an important component if the college is requiring you to submit. Um, uh, let's say they require you to submit, but they might not emphasize it. I would suggest that if your child can do it, it will be nice to submit it. They should not make it optional, because that will look a little dull about their application, especially with engineering. They want to see what your child has created, how much creativity he or she has. So and I mean, same with music also. If your child has been learning music for many years, this is, you can submit a music supplement. So I'll talk about some examples of these. And also, before they submit, make sure your child gets a feedback from if it's please ask the child's music teacher, to look at it. If it is a book that is being published, of course, it will be looked through by an editor. So they should have, if they're creating a video, they should have somebody look at it, because we parents will look at it when they are making it, and we need some fresh eyes to give them some kind of feedback. So some examples. So MIT, Columbia, and Stanford, they have it's not like a requirement, but they would like to see a research supplement. If your child has worked with a research project and published a paper or presented in conferences, they can actually submit the abstract through the portal. If you have more than one project, you should choose the best. Don't submit both, just choose the best. Also, you can give a brief description of what exactly it was and a recommendation letter from the professor your child worked with. Then there are music and art portfolios. Same, you can submit these portfolios to some of the colleges that give you the platform to submit. So Slide Room is a platform through which you submit. So if they are giving it to you, your child should try to submit it. If your children has been performing artist, you can submit videos, compositions, recommendation letter from the music teacher, and a description. If your child is planning to major in music or minor in music, surely they should do it. They should submit these portfolios. There will also be, for music, there'll be a time limit, and some colleges actually ask for certain kind of music. So by 10th grade, if they can go and check on what composers they are asking for, they should have, they should learn those and submit it. Then you have the maker portfolio. So this helps the kids who are applying for engineering related majors. And this is where you can show creativity and technical skills. You can put together, if your child is in science Olympiad or if they are in robotics, this is where you can bring together whatever they have done throughout high school, all the documents together and make it into a maker portfolio. Then another example is the business school at Michigan Ross. So they actually have a couple of very different things. It's like a business case discussion. You can choose a current event or issue in your community and discuss the business implications. You can propose a solution that incorporates business principles or practices. The review panel will look for creativity, drawing connections, and originality. Your response is usually limited to approximately 500 words. So that is something that you can submit if you're applying for Ross. They also accept artifact, like a community project or a school project or some kind of a passion project. Or if your child is a published author, they can talk about that and submit a video. So these are all videos that your child can create between 1 to 3 minutes, except for the music and art music portfolio, because as I said, music portfolio can be a little bit more challenging. It might be certain number of minutes they want to see you play and all that. So my children, both my children, so the older one was applying to certain colleges where he submitted an artifact, which was his book that he had published. And he also submitted maker portfolio, where we had some documentation of his Model UN, his FBLA conferences. So he was able to put together all that and submit a video portfolio. He applied to MIT, so he had submitted that. Also they both have been playing piano for 14-15 years, and they have been selected for competitions and all that. So they submitted their auditions also. Around 11th grade, they found out what pieces, I think it was Yale. Yale asked for specific pieces and specific composers. So they submitted those through the Slide Room. So is it optional or is it necessary? As I said, if your child can put it together, that will be good, because it will be a decision-making component. So keep that in mind. Do you need a profile website? So that is completely optional. I have not seen any colleges that my children applied to asking for a profile website. So my older son never made a profile website, but my younger one did, because so that really helped, because he actually received an email from Harvard during the application process, beginning in the month of Feb, asking to send them materials, detailed materials about himself. So since he made the profile website, he had consolidated everything into the website and he was able to send it to them. Another thing he did was whatever coding he was doing, whether it was in the robotics club, whether it was his passion project, all the codes, even the USACO, the computing Olympiad that he took, all the codes he used to upload it into the GitHub repository. So he was able to send them all those codes, and it was actually looked into by CS professors, faculties. So we kind of had an idea in February, oh, they are looking into his application a little bit more detail. And it was nice that he had created all this extra stuff, because as soon as they asked, he was able to send it to them within the same day. And that is another thing. If you receive any emails from the college during the application process, make sure that you try to reply as soon as possible with what they are asking for. And also some colleges ask for graded papers. So this was something, most of us won't know till the application process starts. So make sure to keep one from every grade, like a social science paper or an English paper that the teacher has graded by hand, because they will want to see it. I think Princeton has a requirement like that. So my kids, we were storing all their material since 9th grade, and thank God for that. We were able to submit a good graded paper. So if you can keep 1 or 2 every year, and then when you're submitting the application, if they're asking for a graded paper, you can choose one and submit it. Also, some of the colleges like Dartmouth, they ask for peer recommendation. That means one of your friends, they want to see what your friends have to say about you. So choose a friend who knows you well and can write a positive response about you. Don't randomly go and choose a friend. Talk to them what you have done. Sometimes even if they are very good friends, they might not know some of the things that you have achieved outside of school. So talk to them, ask them if they can write a letter and then submit it. I don't know, I only know about Dartmouth. I don't know about other colleges, but maybe other colleges also have peer recommendation letters that you can submit. So that is about portfolios and personal websites and all that. Now we'll move on to interviews. So many selective colleges have an interview component. Not all colleges have it, especially the most of the Ivies have it. MIT, Stanford, and also special programs like UT Austin has special program on Turing, and it's for computer science, and there is a entrepreneurship computer science program. They do interviews. Likewise, Ross does interview, and I'm sure there are many other colleges also do it. Duke has interview. So that's a very important component also. So once you apply, you will be indicated through an email with the available date and times to meet the interviewer. Make sure your child has a proper email and they check it on a regular basis once they have applied. Also, make sure to look at the spam folder, because that has happened to us. Sometimes the emails have gone into spam, and we are waiting and waiting for an interviewer to contact, and we see that other friends have gotten it. So always check on your spam folder. And these interviews are conducted by alumni of that particular college and not admission officers. So how important is it? Alumni interview is to get an idea of the applicant in detail. That is, it clarifies the applicant's personality, passion, and interest that they have expressed in the application. So the AOs look at the activity sessions and all that, and the essays and all that, and they get an idea, but then they want it to be a little bit more personalized. So that is why you have an interviewer coming in and interview you. They are not deciding on the application. The interviewer does not decide. It is the AO who will look at it and decide, but it gives the AO to look at your application much more closely, because the interviewer will give lots of notes to the AO. That being said, consider an interview also as an important component. Why not, right? Because you don't want to take it lightly. Better to give a good interview rather than not a good one. And not every college will give you an interview also. Sometimes what happens is, if there is no interviewer in our region, your child might not get an interview, and the college will not penalize you for that. For example, Stanford does not have a alumni interviewer in this region. So I have not heard, in the Hartford area and all that, if somebody has gotten an interview from Stanford. Does it, does it affect your application? No, it doesn't, because that is not the deciding factor. There are a lot of other factors that are deciding. Then top tier colleges, Ivies, some public schools, and selective programs. Even UConn, there is a program called SPIM, that is an 8-year medical program. I have heard that they have a long interview of almost like 3 to 4 hours. Usually these interviews are between 30 minutes to 1 hour. Some interviewers will stick to that 30 minutes. Some of them will extend it. It all depends on how much time they have. Sometimes they will fix a date and they might change it also. So be ready for all that. And getting an interview does not mean that somehow your application has moved to the next level. No, there is nothing like that. If you have an alumni who is ready to give you an interview in that region, you all get it. So that's all it is. Anyone applied from a region and the college can provide an alumni interview will receive an email. Also, if the region does not have an alumni interview, you will not receive one. Then what else? Also, does all these colleges take it very seriously? Not really. Even the Ivies, I've heard that Cornell and Princeton used to have a proper alumni interview, but now they have changed it to an informational alumni meet, and the people who are interviewing are called ambassadors. So rather than interview, it's become like an informational session between the applicant and the alumni. It is a very casual process. There is nothing much to be worried about. But I have also heard that Cornell's architectural school, hotel management school, their interview is very, very important. Then comes some of the other Ivies, like in our case, both our children, Harvard and Penn, the interview was had an impact, because when the files were looked into later, there were points of the interviewer that was also taken into consideration along with all the other components. So I would suggest that take it in and take it seriously like any other interview, and perform it really well. Now, how to prepare for that? When you receive the email from your interviewer, try to reply to it as soon as possible with your available date and time. It is good to know who they are. So now with social media, you can always go and check your interviewer's background also. They can range from 23 years of age and above. They can be doctors, engineers, lawyers, real estate agents, anybody. My older son was applying for economics, and he actually had an engineer who interviewed him for one of the colleges. He had a real estate agent who interviewed for another college. Likewise, for the younger one, yes, there were a couple of engineers who had interviewed him, but there was also a doctor who interviewed him. He was applying for computer science. It doesn't matter. So from that, you can infer that it's much more of a casual interview rather than, too much pressure on the kids. It is not at all like that. They will actually enjoy the process. How to prepare? Read through your application well, especially the activity session and essay. Also be ready with other activities that you might not have mentioned in the application. This is a chance to discuss things that are not in your application. So nowadays, all interviews are virtual. So if you want to show them an artifact, such as a book or some kind of drawing or pottery that you have done, keep it ready on the side. In your conversation with the interviewer, you can just bring it up and maybe show on the screen. A child should be confident about the answers. He should know what he has written in his essays and what he has put in his activity sessions. Learn about the college you're interviewing also. So that you can tell the interviewer why you want to attend, exactly why they should choose you, and how well you will fit. They might ask you if you have visited, and you can be honest about it. If you have not visited, it's okay. And if you have visited, then maybe you can talk to them about what you like the most and what you're looking forward to joining that college. The alumni should get convinced that you're really interested in going to that particular college. Make sure to have a good internet connection and let your kid dress appropriately on the day of the interview. As they have the conversation, the interviewers do take notes. Some questions that they might ask are, tell me about yourself. What do you love about the school that you're applying to? What are you planning to study in college? What are your strength and weakness? How do you overcome have you overcome any challenges so far? What are the fun things that you might do during your free time? They might also ask about what books you have recently read, what are your future plans. Sometimes they might ask you to say 3 adjectives that will describe yourself. So these are some questions that they might ask. So better, the child prepares them. They will also ask if the child has any questions for them. So let the child prepare a couple of questions to show their curiosity. If you can develop questions during the interview itself, it is a better thing to do. Also for preparation, ask your school counseling if they can have mock interview preparation for your child. If you request, I'm sure if they have the time, they will help you out. If they could not provide it, it will be a good idea to do a couple of mock sessions with parents itself, or friends whose kids are already in college, like senior friends, not your own friends or your younger siblings, but people who have gone through the application process before. So people like that. So that is the interview section. Then now we will move on to some of the programs in college. So if your child knows the major he or she is planning to study, encourage them to find which school within the college they should apply, and if there are special programs within that school. So let's take what college shall I say? Let's take University of Pennsylvania. So University of Pennsylvania will have sub schools like College of Liberal Arts, College of Engineering, business school, School of Medicine, dental, nursing, or pharmacy, School of Music. So these are the different departments or different schools within that college. Now within that schools, they will also have different programs. So they'll have honors program. They'll have special dental or medical programs. My older son is in a program called Huntsman in UPenn. It's a very specialized program, and it's international. It's a dual degree program. It's international business and economics. That is their dual major that he will be receiving. Also, that particular program had a requirement of language concentration. So he took French throughout his high school. He also completed his AP French, and in college he had to take 4 semesters of French and a study abroad. So it's a requirement for them to go and study abroad. So if your child is good at language in high school, let's say they are taking Spanish, encourage them to do Spanish all 4 years. If they can take AP Spanish, the exam also, it will help them when they go to college to place out of the basic and move on to the next level, because everybody will have to take at least 2 semesters of language. There will be a requirement, but yes, so there are special programs like that. Brown has an 8-year medical program. University of Connecticut has an 8-year medical program. UT Austin has a special program for computer science. It's a scholar program. So there are programs under all these schools. So go to their websites and find out which program your child would like to apply to. These are highly selective programs. The program that my son, older one, is in, the Huntsman program, they only select 50 kids from the whole pool of application. So that's how selective it is. You have 50,000 applications and 50 kids are selected for that. So they have to show their interest, their passion, everything to get into these programs. What else? Okay, then there are also some scholar programs that these colleges will, your child might be selected for. So these are not scholarships. These are scholar programs. So basically, your child will be put in, like in Columbia University. They have a scholar program called Columbia Scholars Program. So they get special attention for certain things. They might be able to, during course selection, they will have, they'll be able to be the first one to go and put in their courses. They might have special programs for these children where they can go for conferences, they can attend seminars, they can have chat with the professors, tea and chat with the professors, maybe a dinner with the professors, things like that. So it is a nice thing to be part of those kind of programs. So these are the schools within college and the programs within those schools. And now I will talk about scholarships. So scholarships, there are different kinds of scholarships. There are non-profit organizations and foundations that give scholarship. There are also scholarships from the college itself. The college foundation itself will have a scholarship fund and they distribute it for the incoming students. They will have an application portal and the process will be very similar to college application. It's a different application portal. It's not through Common App. So you have to figure out what all scholarships are out there, which are private as well as the college-based scholarships. So those also require transcripts, scores, recommendation letters, and essays. Those recommendation letters are usually through the portal of the scholarship website. Some of them will have an initial computer interview and then face-to-face virtual interviews, sometimes even panel interviews. Your child can start applying to these scholarships as early as 11th grade. This is where all the volunteering work that your child is doing in high school comes into use. This is where they will talk about all their, community service, voluntary work, leadership, all that. The scholarship also varies from receiving a full ride to college to a certain amount every year. If you are not applying for financial aid, or not receiving any need-based financial aid, the scholarship can lower your cost of attendance. That is, the parent contribution can be lowered. If you are receiving financial aid, they first apply the scholarship to that financial aid, and then the balance will be what they will apply to lower the parent contribution. So, for example, some of the, scholarships that are outside Coolidge, that is a scholarship that the 11th graders can apply. They actually read a book and then they will apply through the Coolidge portal. And our school is, some of the schools are very familiar with it. So talk to your counseling department because they will have to ready recommendation letters, transcript, everything to be sent to the Coolidge Foundation. Then there is Coca-Cola Scholars Program. So every year they select something like 100 to 120 students. It's a $20,000 scholarship for distributed in 4 years. It's a very prestigious scholarship. There are a lot of, it's not only the money part, there are a lot of other benefits because there are a lot of alumni who might be from the college that your child is going to be, going to. They might be helpful when it comes to career services and all that. Then there is Burger King Scholars Program. There is Elks Foundation. And some schools will also have the local town scholarships. Some children apply, some children would say, okay, those might not be big ones. They might be between $500 one time to $3,000 to $4,000 every year. So it's up to the families to decide. There is something called United States Senate Youth Program. It's a wonderful scholarship. I think in 11th grade you can apply. All these have the same components as a college application. So if in 11th grade your child is applying to Coolidge, he's applying to Senate Youth Program, they get used to the college application process itself. Then of course there is the National Merit Scholarship Program. So these are all non-profit, private non-profit scholarship programs. Now, many public schools and some private schools also, offer students specialized scholarship programs. It will be merit scholarships, not need-based, but merit itself. These are funds that they receive in their foundation from donors, alumni, etc. Some of them, again, will have a separate portal, not through Common App, separate portal, and your child will have to apply through it. Many public schools also provide scholarships for in-state students who are valedictorians and salutatorians. So please encourage your child to make sure that they are doing well in high school, because all these will reduce the parents' contribution to the cost of attendance. Then we have, so these are scholarships. Now we have the college application, the final thing. So there are different types of application portals. Most of the colleges are using Common App. There are colleges that use Coalition application, which is now going to be Squire. I think it's called Score or Squire, SCOIR. Then there is MIT application portal. They are not in Common App. You have to apply separately. Likewise, Georgetown, they have personalized application. You have to apply separately. So for all these portals, you have to let the school know that you are not going to apply through a Common App, but through a different portal. Your child might have to send the link for recommendation letters to the counselors and the teachers. So these are things that make sure it's all done. Then University of Texas, they have their own portal. All the UC school applications are different. SUNY application is different. And then of course the QuestBridge for low income students. So creating a Common App. My children, they created a Common App portal by 10th grade. So your account will roll over from year to year. So if you create one in 10th grade, it's fine. You will at least go in and see how the application looks. So this actually helped them to get an idea what needs to be filled in each section. So once you're ready to apply, log into the application portal, enter all the colleges that you plan to apply. You can actually select the colleges and enter it. Enter if you are applying early or regular or ED or REA, EA, you can choose all that. There will also be college specific questions. Other than the essays, there will be college specific questions and requirements. You will need your personal information, parent and legal guardian information, sibling information, and students' education information. So education section will have an honors area where you can actually put in up to 5 honors and awards, like the book awards, AP Scholar, National Honor Society. All these are awards, highest honor roll. You can put all these in that area. There will be 5 different boxes where you can enter. They will also ask for future plan. It will be around like 150 characters. You can indicate your career interest, highest level of education you would like to receive. It's like a narrative, small pop-up narrative that will, one-line description kind of thing. Then you have the testing section where you can self-report your SAT, ACT, and AP scores, and then you go to College Board and send the test scores to the colleges. And they will also, for the AP, you can actually add all the subjects, scores, and grades. You can also add the APs that you're taking in 12th grade, because in 12th grade, you have not given the exam, but you can still add them. Then the activities section. In the activities section, there will be up to 10 boxes. Should you fill all the 10 boxes? Of course, you can fill all the 10 boxes if you had 10 activities. So list of activities, achievements, leadership in clubs, extracurriculars in school, out of school, if you are like, doing any art or music, sports, your hobbies, your summer passion projects, volunteer hours, all these can go into the activity section. So also think about the order that you want to list, because the admission officers, they have only 15 minutes on each application. So they have to read your essay, they have to look at your activities. So they're going to glance through the activity section, and they're going to look at the top 3 or 4 activities. So they look at the top 3 or 4 activities, then they look at your essay, and then they will see if it is all connected. So make sure that the order is correct. Give high school activities more importance. Don't put in, I would not suggest, I'm not saying don't, I would not suggest that you add middle school activities it is if it is something that is national, international level. Maybe the 8th or 9th activity can be something from the middle school, but everything else I would suggest you do the high school achievements. For each activity, it will ask you like an organization name. So that means, let's say you did a voluntary work. So which organization did you work with? Then it will ask which grade you performed, how many hours did you perform. Give a description by showing the impact and engagement in the description box. The number of characters will be very less. You don't have to look at punctuations and grammar here. Just write like a one-liner for every activity. Then you have the essay section. Depending on the university that you're applying to, it will show if you need to submit a personal statement. Then choose the prompt that you wrote for personal statement essay. Copy paste the final draft of the essay in the space provided. Make sure it is formatted correctly. If you don't format it correctly, it might not let you submit. In the courses and grades section, you will be able to enter all the courses that you have taken in high school, and also outside of high school, if you have taken in a community college or a undergraduate courses in a college, you can put all that in, but make sure that you have transcripts for everything. Transcript will help you enter all the course and grades. Transcripts will be sent to colleges by counselors. You will be able to enter grade, quarter that you took it, or semester that you took it, and the letter grades, and also you'll be able to enter whether it was a CP course, an honors course, an AP course. So make sure that you enter all that. If you have a course outside of school, like from a community college or something, make sure to get a transcript that is sealed so that you can send it to the admission office. That you will have to send. Your counselor is not going to help with that. Or you can request if the college can send directly to the admission office of the college you are going to apply. Then in the college section tab, upon each college you plan to apply, they have their contact information. You can indicate whether you're going to apply early or regular. It will show deadline dates. It will show the cost, test policies, check on the recommendation letters, invite link to the recommenders if you need to, submit if the college asks for a makeup portfolio and music portfolio. You can also choose your majors. Why are you applying to this particular college? So any family members working or who have studied in the college, you can enter their names. Some universities will have 3 to 5 supplemental essays with different word count. Make sure to copy paste the correct final draft to the space provided, and make sure that it is formatted correctly. This is where you also add the legacy names. If you had so legacy comes in only for if you had a grandparent or a parent who studied undergraduate in this country. Most of us might not have that, but if you have, you can add. even siblings and your cousins or your aunts and uncles, it doesn't matter. They only look at legacy for grandparents or your own parents who have done undergraduate here, not even masters. Then you have the FERPA release waiver form to be signed. So this release form will allow the admission officers to read the recommendation letters, counselor recommendation, teacher recommendation. Everything can be usually submitted through Naviance, or you send it. Some schools say, okay, you send a link to them, and the teachers or the counselors will submit it. Then there is an additional information section. So this is where, if you have a website or a resume that does not have any of the things listed in the activity, this is where you can add that. If you have a link of something that you want to show the college, you can put the link in the additional information section. If there are more than 10 activities that you do in high school and you want to show that, go ahead and put it here. I would also suggest, if you have a GitHub repository, you can put the link there. And also, finally, you have to keep the credit card ready. Review every college app before you submit. All information should be correctly entered. Don't miss out on anything. In our case, when my children were ready to submit to a particular college, either myself or my husband would go through everything once. First, the child will go through, then we will go through together with them. Even the essays, because keep in mind, it is you're copy pasting it, so make sure that it is the correct essay that has been copy pasted. It's good to have a couple of extra eyes, and they should submit the correct essay. There is a dashboard in the application form and a requirement grid to check if all materials are correctly submitted. If you have not, then it will show like a red mark, and you can submit it properly. So these are some of the information that I was able to consolidate and give it to you. Hope this helps your child and they have a good high school journey. It makes it easier for you and your child. Make use of all the resources in the college websites. There are also a couple of forums, such as Reddit. I think it is called A to C. And then there's also College Confidential. There are a lot of people out there discussing about all these things about college regularly. I'm sure your children will start using it when they are in 11th grade. Most of the children do here. I would suggest parents also go and get all the information, because that will help you and your child, both of you, to help each other with the application process. This is all I have to talk about. I hope it helped. The session helped. If you have any questions, I can take it now. You can put it in the chat, or you can just come online and ask, and I'll try to answer as much as possible. Okay, where do we find the list of scholarship names mentioned? One second. So if you Google scholarship for high schoolers, it should pop up. There will be a lot of there are a lot of counseling companies out there which also talk about these things. So that is one thing I have done. When your child completes the first PSAT, you will start getting emails from all these private counseling companies. I used to go and attend webinars, free webinars that they used to have, just to get an idea what they talk about. So, and also there are a lot of YouTube videos out there where they talk about scholarships, where they talk about application, how to fill the application. So it's all, we have always, searched and looked for it. So the Coca-Cola scholarship, my younger son is a Coca-Cola scholar. We got it actually by word of mouth. We knew it by word of mouth. So now I am telling you, so your child might be able to apply. Likewise, Coolidge, actually many schools encourage kids to apply for the Coolidge scholarship. Likewise, the Senate Youth Program scholarship. But go and just search online, and you should be able to find many of these scholarships. And then, there will be link also to go to their website, to their portal, and submit the application. So that's how we found. Okay. What is a grant? College provided scholarships comes from them, or we have to apply separately? Please clarify. So the college will, the professors, actually the faculty gets grants. So they might be able to fund prospective students. So the college might say that it's usually merit scholarship when your child applies. Sometimes they might apply separately for the merit scholarship. Sometimes they might apply, they might just get it in their decision letter. They will say, okay, your child has been selected for this particular grant or merit scholarship. So it's just another set of money that will reduce your child's cost of attendance. Any other questions? Will the student be still eligible for scholarship if the parents' annual income is on the high end? So if it is a merit scholarship, they will be eligible. If it is a need-based financial aid, that's the difference there. So when your child receives a scholarship, if your child, if you don't need a financial aid, that scholarship can be applied to the cost of attendance. So that will lower your the money the parent is going to contribute. But if you are getting a financial aid, let's say the cost of attendance for a year is 50,000, and you are getting, the college is going to give you a need-based financial aid of 10,000, and your child gets a $10,000 scholarship. That 10,000 that college is going to take that $10,000 for themselves. They are not going to apply to your contribution. So your contribution will remain the same there. So there is a little bit of, it's a little shaky, but at the same time, it is a recognition for your child for their hard work. Sometimes there are ways to get the money also. Some scholarships will allow them to purchase laptops or iPads that has to be used for college purpose. Some of those money can be used for that. If you have 2 children and you have applied for financial aid, that might help, because your child will get a little bit of financial aid, and the rest of it you will be paying. So the scholarship is applied like that. But if you get a full ride scholarship, then there is no cost of attendance at all. It is fully covered. Even if your income is high, it is fully covered. Like Coolidge, it is a full ride scholarship, and if your child receives it, then you don't have to pay for their college. There is a scholarship called Robertson scholarship in Duke. So that is another similar. It's a full ride scholarship. They even give funding for summer research and all that. So that also, you don't have to pay anything for college. It is taken care of by that particular. When it comes to this, $20,000 for 4 years, that is when it becomes a little tricky. But even then, I would suggest that the child should apply if they have the time, along with the college application. Will Ivy College give merit scholarship? No, Ivy colleges don't give merit scholarship. They are all need-based financial aid. But if you have a scholarship from outside, that can be applied to your tuition. For courses outside of school with some credit, does it have to be, oh, 1 second, I don't know, I'm not able to read this. Virtual courses are also okay. There are extension schools, and extension schools actually provide virtual courses. If your child want to take courses outside of school and it's virtual, perfectly fine. Make sure that they get the transcript after that. Some kids also do courses through Coursera. Mostly it is certification courses. Those also help. You can let the it can be put in the activity session, as my child took high school college level courses. What are some of the options for credit courses outside of school other than MCC? Harvard Extension School, that is one option. It's all virtual. Then I'm sure UConn might have some courses that are virtual. You will have to dig in to those if you really need your child to take courses outside. At least South Windsor High School gives a good course load for the children. They have a good selection of APs, early college experience courses. So, and even they have a multivariable. The children are able to take multivariable till 12th grade. So, going outside and taking a course, it's up to you whether they really want to take it. Not necessary, but if they take it, good for them. It will show their rigor. So that's how it is. How many colleges can we apply in EA? So all the public schools, you can apply early action. Private schools, you have to look into their portal. I know MIT, you can apply. U Chicago, you can apply. So these are not binding. So they let you apply to other private schools also. The restriction comes only with Harvard, Yale, and what is it called? Stanford, because they are restrictive early action. But even then, you can apply to all the public schools early. So by November 1st, all public schools can go out. All the public school applications can be sent out. Whether it is REA, whether it is early action private school, whether it is ED, doesn't matter. Only credit courses count, or non-credit summer courses count as well? So if you see non-credit summer courses, these are the pre-college programs, right? They actually show, see, what does it do? The summer programs help the child to improve their skills, and that can lead to new research or new project that they can create on their own. So do not just look at, oh, how many courses can my child do? Look at those kind of programs, the summer programs, to be a precursor to help your child to achieve something in the academic year. So everything need not be credits, because even if you have credits from certain colleges, not every college will accept it. They will say, okay, you take our placement test, then we will consider your credit and the placement, and then we will put you in the next level. That's how it is, especially in private schools. But public schools, yes, if you have taken credit level courses, they will mostly they accept it, and if you have a good grade in it, they will accept it, and you can place out, and maybe your child can graduate within 3.5 years. So that's how it is. What is the GPA needed for Ivy? They have not published anywhere that this is what you need. I would say maybe in the top 10 or 15 in the class. That will be a good GPA. There is maybe 3.5 might be a good GPA out of 4. It is not published anywhere what is a good GPA. Most of the kids who come to these Ivies, they will have very good GPA and good scores if they are in the merit pool. Okay, there are even in the college application process, there are different buckets. So let's take us Asians, Southeast Asians. Yes, between 3.5 and 4 will be a good GPA for the Ivies. Likewise, testing scores also, something between 1550 and 1600 will be a good score. There's not much of a difference. Any more questions? I mean, if something comes into your mind, you can always put it on the WhatsApp chat. I think Priya will activate it for another 24 hours or something, right? Right, Priya? The WhatsApp chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, you can always put in there, and I'll try to, answer. The best place to go and get all the information is the colleges that your child is going to apply. You will have to dig in a little bit, go through all the tabs. They will have virtual sessions. If you are not able to go and see the college, check out virtual sessions. Every college nowadays have YouTube channels. So go and check. Even if it is a year old, doesn't matter. Most of things will remain the same. Because it's very important, because our children doesn't have the time for this. So parents going through this and talking to the children really helps. You can, if your child says, okay, I want to apply to Harvard, they won't have the time to really sit and research on it because they are busy with their high school curriculum and activities. So as a parent, when we get the time, we can go and research on it, make points, let the child know these are the things that are out there. What would you like to have? What would you like to study? Are you interested in something like this? So that's where we can help our child. And there are a lot of websites. I think there is something called College Wine. It's a very good website where they give lots of information about college. Even they even have actually said how to write an essay, what kind of voluntary work you can do. They give a lot of ideas on that website. Likewise, there are many of them. This is one of the websites that I found very interesting, so I'm just sharing it with you. And try to look up YouTube videos by admission officers, by consulting companies. Try to attend their free webinars. You don't have to pay these people, tens and thousands of dollars. You can actually go through all this and understand the process and help your child. That's exactly what we did, because we had no idea about the application process here. Since they entered 9th grade, we started watching a lot of YouTube videos during our free time, take notes. And that's how, as parents, we understood the system. And then we were able to help them with opportunities and guide them basically what to do. And observe your child always. If if they are still in 8th grade or 9th grade, observe your child, what they are good at, and you will be able to find their passion. Every child is unique, and they will have an interest and passion, something that they will do extremely well and with a lot of happiness. So that is what they need to improve and build upon. Do you know anything for Rubik's Cube? No, I have no idea about Rubik's Cube and origami, but it's a very good skill. I see all these makeup portfolios by students where they show off their Rubik's Cube skills and origami skills. I'm so sorry, I have no idea.